Hola! So, about 2, maybe 3 weeks ago now, my boyfriend broke up with me. So I had been seeing this guy for a few months, which is very rare for me that I see someone for that long. He was really cool. We met at a bar nearby, like near my place, and he lived not too far away from me as well, and we just like really got along. We had a lot in common, and the first night I met him, I invited him over. We just were like hanging out. Literally nothing happened. We just hung out. He stayed the night. Still nothing sexual, nothing like that. And we just kept talking. We stayed in contact, and just more and more I would see him. And then, let me just take a sip, 1 second. And then we kind of just like became official, and we go out for lunch with like other couples, do like that really kind of embarrassing couples stuff where you hang out with other couples and you're like, we're a couple, oh my god, look at us, aren't we cute? And all of that. He'd always be like bringing me gifts, calling me while I was at work, surprising me with like little dinners and all of that. But we also would, for lack of a better term, and I feel like it's the only term anyway, we would swing. So that's why we would spend so much time with other couples. So we'd like swap partners, we'd have threesomes, we'd invite people over, all of that kind of stuff. And that was all fine. And then a few weeks ago, he runs an IT business. We'll call him Brendan. That's not his name. I did tell him I'm making this video, but we'll call him Brendan. So Brendan owns a small IT business, and they had, I don't know if they made some kind of achievement at work. So he had like a little work get together at his home. And sorry, I keep looking at the viewfinder instead of at you guys. I'm gonna try and look at you guys. It's a new camera. We'll figure it out. So he had like a little work get together at his house. We were all hanging out. It was really fun. And then a few people left, and there was just him and a few of his like closest work friends. They all worked for him, but like he wasn't a partner in a business. He just was the sole owner. Sole trader. Is a sole trader when you just like work on your own, or is a sole trader when one person owns the business? I have no idea, and I should have a better idea of that. But anyway, so we were hanging out, and it was me, Brendan, and his 2 friends. And so things started heating up, and we were all having sex. So 2 guys, me and another girl, and that was fine. And then the next day, I went to work. I wasn't feeling too good. I was feeling really terrible. I had a bit of a cough from a work party. The weekend before this happened, I had started to get a cough, and then it got really bad over that weekend. So I went home early, and he came over, like kind of looked after me, but then kind of left, and it just was really brief. And I kind of like expected more. Like I expected more like caring and like nurturing, and that's on me for expecting that. Like that's my expectations, that has nothing to do with him. I shouldn't expect so much sometimes. Other times, yeah, you should expect the world. I know I do, but anyway. And then I didn't really hear from him the next day, and I was kind of bothered. I was like a little bit upset. I was like, I'm not feeling great. I did this really nice thing for you where we had sex with your work partners. I feel like you should be there for me when I need it. And I didn't say anything to him, but I was definitely feeling it. And then he called me, and he was like, hey, like, I'm really sorry. I know that I didn't stick around too long the other day. I probably should have. Like, I really appreciate you. I really care about you, all of this stuff. But I could feel he was getting a little bit distant. And so the day, we're now like 3 days in from this like party, right? No, that doesn't make sense because this happened on a Friday. Yeah, anyway, a few days pass, I guess, and then on the Friday, one of my old friends was coming up from Sydney, and he was going to stay the night, and I told Brendan, and I was like, look, this guy's staying the night. If you want to come over, you can. Like, he's an old friend. Like, nothing will happen unless you're there. You know the deal. You know the drill. All of that. And he was like, no, that should be fun. Like, I'll totally come over. We can totally do that. You did it for me. I'll do it for you. It'll be a whole thing. And I was like, okay, cool. So my friend comes up from down from Sydney. Which way is Sydney? From the Gold Coast. Anyway, I feel like I'm like very murky on the details on this, but I didn't think I would make a story about it because I didn't know he was going to break up with me. But anyway, take a drink every time I say anyway. Anyway, so my friend comes up from Sydney and Brendan comes over and we're all hanging out. We're watching movies. We're watching some really not interesting horror movies. Like, it just was so boring. But anyway, and then we make our way into the bedroom and things start getting a bit wild. Now, we'll call my friend Archie. I don't think I know anyone named Archie. So we'll just call him Archie. Also, I told him I'd make this video. He already knows what happened after, but I said I'm gonna tell this story. I'm not gonna mention your name, just so you know. But we'll call him Archie. So me, Brendan, and Archie are all in the room. We're doing our thing, and I've known Archie for like 4 years now. We're really close. He's quite large, if you know what I mean. So is Brendan, but Archie's just a little larger. And Archie's also quite dominant, and that's always kind of worked for us, which is, I guess, how we've stayed friends for so long. But anyway, we won't get into the details of our friendship because this is about Brendan dumping me. So we're having our threesome. It's all going good. Archie's kind of taking over. Now, Brendan and I always had this rule. If either one of us aren't happy, walk out of the room, and the other one has to stop and like ask the person to leave. Like, if I'm not happy, I walk out, he has to ask them to leave. If he walks out, I have to ask them to leave. All of this. So we discuss it and we make sure we're okay with it. If we're not, there's, you know, ways out of it. All of this. Anyway, I end up head to toe covered in baby oil, which is not exactly enjoyable to wash off. I don't know if you've tried, but you have to use dish liquid, I've found, is the easiest way to get rid of baby oil. I've got it in my hair, I've got it all over me. I'm 100% have baby oil in my mouth, which is not a delicious meal. And she's kind of like taking over. And I'm kind of aware of it, so I'm kind of like trying to be like, you know, they're also, we can't go this far like we normally would because I'm in a relationship and I don't think we want that right now. And then Brendan tries to pick me up off my bed, and my bed's really high. It comes up to my hip. I'm like, I think it's like 3 feet off the ground. It has 2 mattresses on it. I'm literally the princess and the pea. I also have like 2 mattress toppers and then like a wool sheet and then a fitted sheet over all of that. So I'm really high up. We're really high up. He tries to pick me up, and because of all the baby oil, I slip out of his arms, bounce off the bed onto the ground, and I just kind of lay there for a moment like, where is my life taking me? Where am I going? Like, I need help. I don't think this is the path for me. You know, like, how did I get myself into a situation where my at the time boyfriend is, I'm slipping out of his arms from baby oil and bouncing onto my, like, carpet, which I quickly found out wasn't as clean as I thought it was, because when I got up, I had all my own hair, because I shed like a dog, really. I shed like a dog, and so I had all of my own hair stuck, like, on my body. It was so disgusting. So I had to have a quick shower. I was like, are we all good to go? Do we keep doing this? What's the vibe? And Brendan says yes. Archie says yes. We keep going. As far as I'm concerned, everything's fine. We're fine with this. We're happy. We're moving along. We're doing what we always do. Keep it going. Anyway, we're done. We're hanging out on the couch. We're like watching movies. And then Brendan goes, you know, I've got to get up early to see my mum. I've got to do some family stuff. I also have a little bit of work to finish. I'm going to go. And I thought that was really weird. I was like, well, okay, but like, if that's what you're saying, I'm going to believe you. So, see ya. And then I didn't hear from him all weekend, and I kind of knew like he was going to be having an issue with Archie. That's fine. I thought it was something we could work through. Apparently not, because he called me the Monday after and was like, hey, like I really need to talk to you. Can I come over tonight? We need to have this talk. Like, there's some things I want to talk about. And I'm like, okay, it's definitely about Archie. He probably felt a little emasculated because Archie was more dominant. He was bigger. But I felt like I did all I could do to not make it feel like a competition. Again, if he was unhappy, he could have walked out of the room and I said, okay, this is over. I'm really sorry. I'm going to talk to Brendan. If he doesn't want you staying, I'll get you a room. I know you were meant to stay here. That's what would have happened, but that didn't happen. We kept going. Everything was fine. We all had fun as far as I knew up until now. So Brendan comes over, we have dinner, and he's like, yeah, no. Well, I'm like, so what do you want to talk to me about? What is it? I think I already know. Is it about Archie? And he goes, yeah, like it just made me really uncomfortable. You know, there was a size difference. He was more dominant. It seemed like you were enjoying him more than me, which was 100% not true. It just wasn't. If I felt like that could even potentially happen, I wouldn't put either one of us in that situation, because I wouldn't want it to end how it ended. But here we go. It ended like that anyway. And like we have this discussion. He's like, you know, and because you guys are friends, you still were very close as well. And after, I just don't think, I'm just not comfortable with it. And I was like, oh, okay, like, you could have walked out. We could have not done it. Like, I just want you to know that I wasn't going to ignore your feelings. But yeah, like I totally get it, and we'll make sure this doesn't happen again. And he goes, yeah, no, it's not going to happen again because I don't think I can keep seeing you if this is what you're going to do. And I was like, excuse you? This is what I'm going to do? Was it not a week ago that you initiated this with your friends? This isn't just me saying, if you want to be with me, you have to do this. This is how I roll. If you were never comfortable with this, we would never do it. Okay? Like, no skin off my nose. No hair off my back. Okay? It was a discussion you brought up originally. We kept doing it. Everything was fine. And then you felt a little bit emasculated. And I guess he's going to watch this because I told him I'm making it. But here you go, Brendan. What's the deal? What's the actual deal? And then there was like, you know, we kept discussing it, and there just was no resolution at all. He was adamant about how he felt. He felt like I was the bad guy, like I just, you know, like he made it out to be like I was cheating on him. I've never cheated in my life. I never will. I think it's like, if you don't want to be with someone, just don't be with them, or have the discussion where you can do the things that we had already been doing and seemed to be comfortable with. But anyway, it didn't work out. He wasn't happy. Meanwhile, I'm thinking, okay, I didn't realize the last time I had sex with you, I would have been dropped off the bed and covered in baby oil and my own shedded hair. But if that's how it's going to end, that's how it's going to end. I'll see you next time, bucko. Since then, we have like still spoken, we're still friends. I don't know if that will stay the same after he sees this video, but it is what it is at the end of the day. That's what my grandfather used to say. It is what it is. He'd be really drunk, he'd sit on the floor and he'd go, it is what it is. Of course, it's not what it isn't. But anyway, there's another anyway. I'm sure you're drunk by now. So that's why my boyfriend broke up with me. Straight up high school dumped me in my own living room after dinner because of a threesome we both agreed to partake in after many other sexual frolics. That didn't make sense. But that's the story of how that happened. I'm now newly single, ready to mingle. Well, already have been mingling, but not as much as you might think. But enough to make some more videos. I've got a few stories coming out of the last 2 weeks, that's for sure. 3 weeks now, maybe a month. I don't know how long ago it was. But yeah, let me know if you've ever been dumped like that, or if you think maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I should have been more aware of his feelings and more courteous, but I guess I wasn't. What can you do? You make the best decisions you can at the moment, and if they turn out not so great, that's how it's meant to go. That's what I've learned. So, like and subscribe. There'll be another story next week, some other stuff. I've got some other videos planned that I'll probably film today. You might see a few videos in this robe because I quite like it. And I did just want to address the eggplant emoji. A lot of people thought it was fake or didn't know I had it and then was surprised. It's an eggplant emoji. I can tell that story in another video, so look, I'm not trying to lead you guys on. Just subscribe if you want. If not, find someone better. I don't blame you. Brendan's gonna find someone better, so join the club. Peace.